right. Hello, health heads. Welcome and thank you for checking into this dose of the Healthcare Uprising. I am your producer, Jeremy Carr, here with your host, Heather Pierce. So what is on our agenda for today, Heather?
Today is one of my favorite topics.
Nice.
And that is sound immersion, sound baths, sound therapy, sound healing, sound.
Vibration is
yes,
what it really is.
It is. It is. It's all about the vibrations, raising those vibrations. So we've got Deb Lash, who is a sound practitioner. And she's come on today to talk with us about the healing benefits and powers of sound immersion, sound baths, all those things, all the different ways that we can call it. And we get to talk about how we've also personally benefited from it. Yeah. I love it. It is part of my, I would say my wellness, whatever. I don't
journey.
know. I love it. If I didn't have it, I would feel like an empty soul. So it has really changed my life. And so we're going to talk about that.
There you go. Yeah. Great conversation here. Definitely one of those topics Heather and I very much both enjoy talking about. So this is a fun episode. And I'm actually proud of myself for not making a Beach Boys reference on the good vibrations part.
Oh.
But anywho,
congrats.
Without further ado, and before I make a bad now I can't even say it, bad Beach Boys joke, let's get into our conversation here with Deb Lash from Sound and Movement Alchemy.
Hi, and welcome to the Healthcare Uprising podcast. Today we are sitting in a yurt. This is the first of ever.
First time for everything.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of firsts this year, and we're meeting with Deb Lash, who is a sound practitioner here in Northern Arizona, and we are sitting in her amazing yurt on her property, just outside of Flagstaff in the middle of the woods. Thank you for inviting us here. This is really cool.
It's my pleasure.
Really cool.
Thanks for coming out and giving this a go.
Yeah.
This is fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So we're all set up in here, and you can see, if you're watching on video anyway, on YouTube, we're sitting on our mats because eventually, after we have a really lovely discussion here, we are going to be graced with a beautiful sound therapy session with Deb leading. So we'll be in this space, and we're going to record that as well. So
I'm really excited for that.
I am too. It's just a really wonderful, calming space to be in.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've really created something beautiful here. So
we can even hear the energy a little. There's a little extra ambient background hum in this room compared to most places.
Picking up some good energy.
Said the audio engineer guy.
Yeah, we've got some good vibes in here.
It really does. It feels great in here.
Yeah.
Great spot. The pine trees out every window.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
Really could not be more beautiful. So, Deb, tell us about your background, how you got into doing this sound work, and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay. Well, I was, excuse me, in healthcare also, selling to dental practices for 34 years, selling all of their supplies and equipment that they needed, and loved my career, but knew that there was something else. There was something missing. In 2003, I got certified to teach yoga, which was a passion of mine at that time, and just kind of evolved from there. So moving into more holistic healing. After yoga, I personally had a severe debilitating back issue, was scheduled for surgery, found a program that helped me heal myself with movement. So I shifted from teaching yoga to teaching what's called foundation training now. And from there, actually, I was at one of their immersions in Santa Barbara and talking to the developer of foundation training. I was like, I still feel like there's something missing. And he just looked at me and he said, it'll come to you. Just listen.
That
Just listen. I like that.
Just listen. So a few years go by, and I am in Sedona visiting with a friend, and I see there's a yoga studio that has a weekend retreat, sound healing retreat. So I go to the retreat. It was called Awakenings, which she's reopened in Sedona now.
And was that your first experience doing sound?
First experience, yeah. So from there, then I signed up to do the training that they had. So from the workshop to the training.
Oh, you got the bug real fast.
I did, and bought bowls like at the training.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm all in.
I heard the message, and it was so profound what it did for me personally in my nervous system, being able to just counteract the competition of a sales job for so long, and being so task oriented and driven to produce. I found it helped like offset all that. Yeah. So 2 years ago, I fully retired from that career, and this has been what I'm doing. And because it's a passion for me, I'm not trying to go out and like sell it to people. I just feel like they're going to listen also, right? It's going to happen where people are going to find me. So built the Magic Yurt about 9 years ago with the thoughts that it would be for holding space for women and having ceremonies. And that's how we started doing what we were doing in the yurt. Since I got certified in Sedona in 2018, I did a pilgrimage in India for 2 weeks that was all on a mantra and chanting and sound. So that was just the next level for me.
That's like going back to the source material, the original source material right there, actually traveling to India for it.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my background in a nutshell.
Well,
the chanting is an amazing thing. I think I've told Heather this before, but on an oddly morbid note, but the coolest funeral I've ever been to was in a Greek Orthodox church.
Yeah.
Where the guys were chanting like oh, and like layering on top of each other in this perfectly acoustic dome type room, and I was like, this is one of the coolest things I've ever heard.
there is something
it like rattled you down to
healing.
the soul, like it reaches into you.
You know, before we started recording, you were talking about how you were doing Kundalini yoga in here. Well,
Right.
When I was pregnant with my first son, Zane, who's 17 now, I went to a Hindu church down in Phoenix for prenatal Kundalini yoga, and there was always the men chanting in another room, and they had the gong and the whole thing, and Kundalini yoga for prenatal is so you can give natural childbirth, right? And so you're like preparing for that. Unfortunately, that I wasn't able to, but I was ready.
Ready.
But that
Good
humming.
on you for trying.
Thank you.
On you
I
for
tried.
trying.
Also, thanks for science. So I had a happy birth in the end. But the chanting that would come through those walls was like the most magical thing I have ever experienced.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The vibrations. Of
I wonder what the
things.
babies felt.
They felt it. You know they
Right?
did.
But
yes.
that's kind of like the original sound therapy, though, right? It's just the human voice.
Our voice is so powerful.
Right.
It is the original healer.
Yeah, I feel like this has come up a couple of times in some other episodes too, Jeremy, about this whole thing about humming.
It releases the vagus nerve.
The Vegas, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts of good things. And
I taught myself to whistle and hum at the same time. It's very therapeutic.
well, that's actually really impressive. I was just thinking too, because, Deb, you worked in a pretty, high, intense career. Sales that's like intense,
Stressful.
right? I work, in a pretty intense environment in my career as well, outside of doing this podcast. And I can't tell you how many times I have told people when I found sound therapy a few years ago, where I was like, oh my God, where has this been all my life? This is the one thing that I need. And it is like the most wonderful, calming, nerve resetting, check out, meditational, get me to another plane, not think about anything. Like it's perfect for like high powered corporate people. You know what I mean?
I
like,
agree.
I want to tell like every single person that has like that kind of career that they should get in your yurt.
Yeah.
I think Heather wants to live in your yurt.
I think I want to live in your yurt.
It's okay with me.
I may not leave, Deb. I know where you live now.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Now I know she had me pick her up on the way because she ain't going home.
But so I know what it is. Jeremy knows what it is. We've been talking about some of these elements of sound therapy. But for somebody who's listening who's never experienced sound therapy before, sound immersion, there's a lot of different ways we can describe it.
Right.
Can you explain it? Kind of maybe the science behind it, the kind of, let's break it down a little bit.
Well, sure. I'll do my best.
Yeah. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah.
So, when I started doing the training, I think part of that I still have that scientific mind from being in that the dental world because it's very scientific. So it triggered my scientific part of my brain by learning that people were using this to help in oncology wards in New York. So Dr. Mitchell Gaynor, and I have a couple of his books here, started bringing Tibetan singing bowls, chanting. Then it moved into crystal singing bowls. And his documentation is not like what you would want to see now, but he has written these books about the effects it had on his patients. So healing time was increased. It helped transition time with people, helping their transition. It helped not just healing, but recovery, post-surgical. So there was just so many things that he's written about that got me in that part of my brain. So I knew, okay, this is also stroking that part of my brain, not only the woo-woo side, right? And I just did a revamp of my website, and there's a part on my website that says it's not all woo-woo.
It's not.
It's not. So from there, the history goes back thousands of years. Egyptians, Native Americans, Indians, East Indian, they've used sound and vibration for healing for thousands of years. So it's not new. What's happening, it's sort of going through this big growth like yoga did maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a reemergence.
It's a reemergence.
Yeah.
So more and more people are providing sound and vibration, and I feel like the more we're doing this, the more we're raising the vibrations on this planet.
Literally.
Sure. Yeah, like literally.
Literally and
Literally.
figuratively.
Yeah. So it's got to be good.
Right.
Right.
And it's very hard for science to get into stuff like this because it's so individualistic. It's very hard to have a control group in a meditation study because everyone's brain works a little different, and especially when you're dealing with what is this sound or what is this music or whatever it might be do to people generally. There might not be a generally because everyone responds to different sounds differently. Like there are certain things, like probably what you do in your therapy, that are closer to universal. But even still, like Heather and I have gone to classes for this. When we go to Ryan and Shelby's thing, the liquid breath work, we both have like amazing experiences. But when we talk about it after, we went through different things.
They're
like
different.
Our personal experiences were different.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't really put that in a lab and get real hard statistics off of it as to what it does to people and how.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really is the problem, is that open-minded scientists will look into this stuff and be like, yeah, there's definitely something to that. But how do you test for it? You know what I mean?
Just trust us.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to.
Just
is
trust
you have
us.
to try it and see what it does for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And when it makes you go, oh my God, I've been looking for that.
Right.
That means it's doing something for you.
Right.
You know,
Well, and
that's all it comes down to.
And you were just talking about too this recovery, right? These improvements, they did see it. No, it may not be in a lab, right? It might not be entirely scientific, but it's happening.
It is happening. And actually, I have a paper that my mentor, Laura Penn Gallerstein, just put together that she did with the nursing staff at UCSD and the cancer ward there. And they just trained 2 of their nurses to do sound on the ward, cool. And they plan to do 2 more this year.
That's amazing.
So she has put together some numbers. So there is more documentation, more recent documentation.
Those are my favorite stories we have on this podcast, is when the East and West are melding in like an actually very functional sort of way, and like bringing together the 2 paradigms because that's what we need. If we really want to have a new world paradigm that's positive, we need to take the best parts of everything and see how they fit together and see if we can make it into that one thing.
I love that.
Yeah. And I think it's a rebuilding, right? Like we're kind of rebuilding what health and wellness has been.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we have to.
Yeah.
We got to make it work for us.
Like the pills are great, guys, but there's a lot more to it than that.
Right.
This is the medicine of the future.
Yeah.
I think.
You know, and it's crazy. I was thinking about when you were talking about all of these, ancient civilizations that have used, and now, they still use it currently in their cultures. And I feel like this comes up a lot in a lot of our shows that we get into, like psychedelics and things like that. We're starting to listen to our ancestors, right? And by adopting these kinds of practices as part of medicine, right? It's kind of cool.
The blending of the world, yeah. So we're sitting on yoga mats in a yurt talking about ancient sound therapy,
right?
For a podcast that's being recorded with all this equipment, with headphones on and mics in our hand. See, the worlds are coming together in a way that no one's ever seen before, because that part over there that the people who are watching on YouTube can't even see, that's still pretty new.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
It's a new thing that we can put this stuff into this format.
So I was telling you that I was telling my son before I came over here that I was going to go record this podcast in a year and do some sound therapy. And he goes, and he's 17. I love him to death. And he goes, so you're going to get in the bath? Because I said sound bath. And I'm like, no, honey, I'm not getting an actual bath. I'm like, that would be weird. And if I was getting in a bath with other people for a podcast, I certainly wouldn't be telling you.
Although a bathtub might be a great place to get some sound therapy with the acoustics of being that little.
There's those. Okay, well, hold on a minute. So let me finish the story. So, and he says, oh, you're going to go find your spirit animal. I was like, sure. And my chi and all those things. And I told him, I said, I've been doing this for a while. And I'm like, this is like this has become part of like maintenance for myself, right? But there is something happening. There's something. I told him, I said, the sound literally vibrates inside of you. I go, it can literally reset your nervous system. It can take you to other places. It can elevate your soul, for that matter.
It can kick in your neuroplasticity. It can literally start rewiring your brain.
Totally. Have you, like, with all of the people that you have done this with, do you have any like stories or examples of where you have seen somebody transform through something?
My own daughter, who has not really been part of this in my life. Like, she's got 2 young kids. She doesn't really have time to come to one of my sound immersions. She's done a few events here in the yurt. She's not a deeply spiritual person. And she came to a sound bath that I did 2 months ago, and I was playing the monochord behind her head. And she told me afterwards she felt like she was floating off the floor.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah. So I get that. Or I've told people, you might feel like you're on a magic carpet, right? You're going for a magic carpet ride.
Levitation.
The other responses with people can be deeply emotional, and people can have tears. I can have tears while I'm playing. Depending on how you're feeling that day, what's happened to you. It can bring up memories. It can bring up, it can even, I call it Shiva. It can be like Shiva medicine. Shiva is the destroyer, can be the destroyer, right? So it can be disruptive. It can actually bring up those hard emotions, maybe some traumas. What I try to provide is a very safe environment for people. If that happens to them, there is no judgment. We just make sure that everyone is feeling really supported in the space together.
Yeah.
That's something you get in shamanism. Part of the shamanic trial process is you literally get torn apart and put back together.
Okay.
But it's metaphorically, it's the deconstruction of the ego, so that you can, and it's what we talk about in the psychedelic therapies all the time. I find the sound therapies, the breath work, things like that are very tangential to what goes on in psychedelic therapies.
Yeah.
It's just kind of less intense because you're not putting the drugs into it. You're just doing what your body does naturally.
Right. Which is especially good for people who aren't interested in doing psychedelics or don't want to, which is me.
If you don't want to actually do the drugs, which is great.
Yep.
This is how you experience that. This is the closest thing you're going to get to that without doing the substances is the breath work and the sound therapy. And the two together, really. Like if you can get the breath work and the sound therapy in one session, that's where I leave my body entirely.
Yeah, for sure. And Deb, you do sound immersion here. You're also at True North. You go to the Cancer Center once a month, but you also do other collaborative type of
I do. Sometimes
experiences.
I'm invited sometimes to play with other sound practitioners in town. I do privates at a resort in Oak Creek Canyon. I do, I can do any kind of celebration. I can travel. I like to stay in this area mainly, not to go too far south. But yeah, I can travel.
Okay.
But
I feel like there's and again, sometimes I'm not sure if it's just me being in my bubble in my little echo chamber, because I'm like, everyone does sound therapy and breath work and yoga now. We all are doing women wellness retreats. It's also because I think I am of a certain age.
Everyone who hosts this podcast, sure.
Well, that, and I think it's also a midlife woman thing. I really do. It's like you all of a sudden, and I'm just going to speak for myself and some of my friends, is that I have had this this thing that just clicked. And I was like, you know what? I've been raising my kids my whole life. I have been taking care of my husband. I've been taking care of everybody. I have totally ignored myself. And oh my God, I just found sound therapy. And oh my God, I found this. And oh my God, I found this. And I'm like, you know what? It's all about me now. And I'm like, and all my friends feel the same exact way. We're like, we just want to take care of ourselves. And
you know what it is, in my mind, what you're talking about is learning to relax.
Yeah, or midlife crisis.
Well, no, the life you've been living as the mom and the corporate, moving up the corporate ladder while being the mom, while being in the PTA, while this, while that. You forgot how to relax.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you hit a point, 30 years down that road where it's like, I have free time.
Yeah.
But you don't know what to do with it because you don't know how to relax.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that will teach you how to relax.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was 10. That's why I have no stress. This has been my life, my whole life.
And what I was trying to get at by saying this is that at least I can tell from classes that I have taken, workshops that I've done, it's heavily women my age. Do you see that a lot?
Yes.
So we're talking to you, women of a certain age.
Yes.
If you don't have this in your life yet, please go find it.
Find it. Yes.
Yeah. And even if you're not a woman of a certain age,
go
you
find
should find it anyway.
Also, it's for everybody.
It really kind of is on a certain level.
You
should at least try it. This is one of those medicines that cannot hurt you.
That's right.
And even if you only ever do it once and you're like, yeah, that was cool, but it doesn't really do much for you and you never do it again, you tried it and you know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you really should try once.
Yeah, I'm curious because you do a lot of private and all the other things. Is it heavily women? Do you see that? Have you been noticing that since you've been in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in this, that's how it's been in the yoga world too.
True. Yeah.
That's true. I think, for some reason it's
the funny part
with
the funny part with the yoga is when it was new, they didn't let women do it. It was only for men.
Oh.
Did you know that about the history?
I did
when
not.
yoga was
with Iyengar?
like 5,000 years ago or whatever in India, when yoga was like it was like a warrior thing, and it was only for men, because women weren't allowed to be strong physically because they could fight back then, you know.
Well, that is no longer the case.
The patriarchy runs deep.
Yes, it does.
But it's really cool to me knowing that history, that now it's like men are like, oh, yoga, that's for women.
Well,
it's like, you guys have no idea the power you're giving them by saying that.
well, that was going to be my second part, is that you probably don't see a lot of men doing it, but they might be the ones who can maybe benefit from it the most, because,
what I love seeing is when parents bring their children.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I've had several of the people coming to the True North Osteopathic Clinic bringing their children that are, 12, 13 years old, and fathers coming. So there are men coming there, and showing their sons, this is how we regulate our nervous system. This is how we can learn to be more present with people. So I really admire that. And, just how do we get more people to do that? I don't know either. Just invite
we
them.
make podcasts about it.
There we go.
That's what we're here for.
There we go.
And we advocate. And when you say, have you ever tried yoga? And somebody's like, no, like, you should really try yoga.
Yeah. Really try.
I do that to people all the time, to the point they get annoyed with me.
You should give it a shot.
I do think it's important when someone is trying a sound experience for the first time to get some background on what to expect. Because if you do show up to something and you've never been there, and it doesn't literally resonate with you, it could really turn you off to it. So I am a big advocate for finding out if it aligns with you personally, because we're all sort of different, and what resonates with you may not resonate with me or Heather. So I think it's real important to know a little bit about the person, the practitioner. I've tried to write a lot of information on my website about what I do and how it's delivered, and I have, frequently asked questions on there. But I welcome people asking me questions about it, because I want to make sure that they know what to expect or not to expect. Like, I don't want to set expectations of what will happen to them. I just want them to know what I'm doing is making these sounds and vibrations.
Yeah. It can be intimidating.
Yeah.
To people.
And there are a lot of options. You'll see, a lot of the practitioners will offer men-only classes and women-only classes and family classes. And so you can kind of find your comfortable spot and find the right person given the right class, and, ease your way into it, as it were.
Yeah.
But and again, it's the breath work, it's the sound therapy, and even the psychedelic therapies. But if you want to start simple, this is kind of the way to start simple.
Yeah, I feel like it's the least risky, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if that's even the right word, but
it's the least risk with the most impact.
Totally. Yes, it really is. I mean, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have it in my life anymore. Yeah. I really don't. Like, I'd be sad.
Yeah, I would too.
That's why I'm moving in.
I love it.
I'll have to teach you guys how to wumsle. That's whistle and hum at the same time.
Oh, my
I've given it a name.
Oh. Well, you heard it here first, folks.
When we switch mics, I'll give you an example if you want. This mic's going to just freak out if I try to do it into this mic.
Oh, my gosh.
That's too funny. What have we not covered that you want to talk about, Deb?
Gosh. I think you've been really good at inviting people to give it a chance and try it if they've never tried it. If you think that it's something that will help you on your health journey, definitely. I want to keep pursuing that for my practice. Like, I want to make sure I'm providing this in a healthy way for people. Help them if they're transitioning, help them, whether I do it through hospice or, the Cancer Resource Center is a great place for people to go and just reset every month. And they provide it all for free, which is just amazing. So I think that more and more people are becoming exposed, more and more people are doing sound as practitioners, and it's the medicine of the future.
Yeah, I agree. And I didn't want to forget about this, but we were talking about water. And I see these like water sound immersion experiences. Oftentimes in Phoenix, they'll do it at like resort pools. I've seen video of these things like in like
But they're
caves.
doing sound
Yes.
therapy in the water?
Yeah, you like
They're
lay.
floating on
Yeah.
mats, and actually,
wild.
Yep.
I
Have
may
you
be
ever done
doing-
that?
I may be doing one.
Oh,
Because I tend to lay, when we go to the breathwork classes, everybody's like putting down all kinds of pads and pillows and stuff under them.
Mm-hmm.
I lay on a blanket in my yoga mat. Like I want to feel the vibrations in the floor.
my
when
back
that
starts to
sound
hurt.
hits
I
me.
can't do that.
But yeah, do that floating in a pool.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So you're going to
Talking
do
to
that, Deb,
someone.
around
Maybe.
here?
I'm talking to someone, so you know,
Amazing.
hopefully it'll come together.
Okay.
She has the mats already.
That is something I've always wanted to do. I see
That's
these,
awesome.
because of course, my social media algorithm feeds me stuff like that because I
Right.
talk about it and look at
Right.
those things. So I'm like, okay, I need that in my life now also.
Right, right. And because our bodies are made up of like 70% water,
Yeah.
it's like the
I am a
vibrations
water
will be
creature, yeah.
it'll be so much more than what you feel through the floor. When
Yeah.
it comes through the surface of the water, just imagine that. So,
It's like laying on the skin of the drum while it gets beat.
Oh my gosh.
yes.
Brilliant.
That's going to be, okay.
It's like hanging your hammock off a tree that's rooted in a river.
Yeah.
If you've never done that, try it.
This definitely needs to happen. And, as I was thinking about that, like having been having done sound immersion in a number of different places and different, environments and experiences, the one thing, and I think this is helpful for like somebody who's never done it, I will literally get into like a trance sometimes when it's, especially when the bowl is going like that on the one side, and I'll get it on one ear, not the other, because it depends on the acoustics, and I will have to like shake myself out
Wow.
of like,
You got to let yourself go is what you got. That's the hard part.
yeah,
You got to
like
learn how to let
So many
yourself
people
go in
don't,
that
yeah,
moment.
know how to let their
It's-
guard down.
it's wild like when you do, and then I'll be in like such like a physical trance that I literally it almost reminds me of like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you feel like, but that's like scary.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing, like you can't move,
Oh.
and but
Paralyzed.
it's all, yeah, it's almost
It's like the night terror without the terror.
night terror. Thank you. Yeah, it's like a sense of paralysis, but it's like good paralysis.
Well, I would
It's ultimate relaxation.
Yeah,
It is.
I
Yeah.
would challenge whether it's really that you're only hearing it through one ear, or
I think I am.
that there's binaurals happening, which
Oh.
is where
Yes,
two
I'm-
frequencies are very close together, and then our brain goes in and makes it a third frequency.
I was going to say that too. That's awesome. We're on the
So-
same wavelength here,
Same
Deb.
binaurals here.
So, can you explain binaurals just a little bit for anyone that maybe not quite
We were
understand
talking
it?
about that recently with somebody too, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we all have frequencies. Like we all vibrate. We all are energy.
Yeah.
And, the earth has frequencies, but the instruments all have certain frequencies. And if they tend to be really close, within like 5, they call them cents, CENTS, which is the name of the frequency numbers. So if they're within like 5 or 10 cents of each other, they can start to hop back and forth with that wobbly sound that happens. So some people use binaural recordings to help them like study and do
It's like different frequency in each ear at the same time kind
right.
of thing.
And so then our brain starts to kind of create its own frequency in the middle of those two. There's also entrainment that happens, which is, so we have a vibration, say, like tuning forks are kind of an example
Yeah.
of entrainment. When you shock it and then you put it on someone's body near a bone, then you can feel that vibration in the bone, and then the bone starts to vibrate at the same frequency. So that's entrainment.
There's something, if you strike two of them near each other and bring them together, they'll actually start harmonizing too, right? They'll actually retune themselves.
The tuning forks?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes, like, I have an ocean drum that has these BBs in it, and if I have it sitting close to one of my bowls sometimes, and I'm playing a bowl, the BBs will start moving on their own. So that's entrainment. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Very cool. There you go. We learned some new stuff here today. As you were talking and you said your ocean bowls, it made me think about like how a lot of people will need like the sound of rain or the sound of ocean, waves crashing for like falling asleep or things of that nature. For somebody that maybe has done that, I wonder, would it be like where they're like, I don't know about going to a sound immersion class. It still feels a little weird, but also like find somebody like me to take you, because that'll like kind of take the edge off, right? Like it'll make you a little bit more comfortable when you got a buddy who's already done it. Because I always like introducing people to new things. Right. And so I'm like, come on, let's go. Right. I wonder, like listening to sound bass online, like maybe like the Calm app. I feel like the Calm app would probably have something like that. Yeah. That might be like a good, like, let me test the waters, no pun intended.
I was going to ask you if you thought it transitioned okay to being remote, like online kind of listening. It's not going to be the same as being in the room. But.
You don't feel the vibrations, but
that part you miss.
I find that originally when I was trying to record during the pandemic, I couldn't get the sounds wouldn't come over, Zoom when we were doing that. So I know there's been a lot of updates to being able to record.
I'm hoping my mic setup is going to work for what we're doing today.
Cool. Oh, yeah. We're going to find out.
We're going to have to do a whole mic switch for the next part.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The other thing I wanted to bring up that some people are worried about, and that's falling asleep. So just to, hit on that briefly, it happens. Yeah, and it's totally fine.
My sister zonked out when I took her one time.
That means you relaxed.
That means you needed a
That's the whole point,
and
you're relaxed.
You're relaxed. The only thing I do say, if your sound becomes louder than my sound, then your neighbor has permission to touch your leg or your arm.
Unless you're snoring perfectly on frequency with the sound bath.
Right on rhythm.
Yeah. I do walk around when I'm doing sound a lot in the space. And so occasionally I might just take my foot and tap someone's leg, that's... I can tell they're starting to go deep, because you can tell by people's breathing when they're ready to start going really deep, when they start blowing those puffs of air out.
Oh, and that's funny.
I just love it. I love that people feel comfortable enough to fall asleep, and don't worry about it. If you think you're going to fall asleep, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And how long are your sessions typically?
Usually an hour.
Okay.
I plan an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that gives us a little time to get some breath work in at the beginning, and then slowly come out of it.
Okay.
So
cool.
That's very cool.
And we're going to do kind of a sample session?
Yeah. I think we are.
We'll do like 15 minutes or so.
Cool. Yeah. All right. You want to cut to that?
I think we're ready. I think we've covered all the bases in this part. Now we just need to give them the goods.
Cool. Let's do it. We'll see all you guys in a second.
Yes.
So we're going to start with what I like to call perfect breath. It's coherent breath, where we take an inhale and an exhale at the same count. Just brings us into that place of balance in between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. But before we start that, let's just take a collective big inhale through the nose. Exhale through your mouth. We're going to inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. 4, 3, 2. Keep going on your own. Feel free to increase the count. Just keep it the same for both your inhale and your exhale. Just let that breath go. Start to relax through the tips of your fingers and your toes. Letting that go up your legs, your arms. Feeling your shoulders just melt down into the floor. Softening the skin of your neck and your face. Unclenching your jaw. And softening in your heart space. And as you start to completely relax, let yourself bring something positive into that heart space, something that resonates with you. taking in that sacred pause with the stillness and quiet. Noticing with this quiet, the sound is most potent. Start by deepening your breath. Bigger inhales, fully exhaling. Feel free to move your fingers and toes. Just bring one hand to your heart and one to your belly. Feeling that arc of love for yourself. Deepening your breath, more of that life force as it comes in. Letting go as you exhale. You can start to bring more movement in through your arms and legs. You can bend the knees, placing your feet on the floor. Rolling to whatever side feels good for you.
I feel like the birds harmonized with you for a little while there.
A little bit.
Did you
right
hear
outside
that?
The door.
And I felt one fly over at one point. That was really cool. The birds are part of the show. You should pay them more. Thanks for joining us on the Healthcare Uprising. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons before you go, and take a moment to think of a friend and hit that share button. You can find us on all the major audio platforms, and we've got video on YouTube if you want to watch us in action.
You can also find us on social media on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. Just search Healthcare Uprising to find us. And if you're a new company with a cool new product, if you're someone innovating alternative methods for the health and wellness space, or if you have a personal healthcare journey you'd like to share with us here at The Uprising, please email us at healthcareuprising@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you about coming on the show. Well, that's all for this dose of Healthcare Uprising. Until the next time, keep looking for the good in the world, because sometimes it's where you least expect it.
We are not doctors and we don't play one on TV. If you need medical advice, consult with your physician or a healthcare professional. This has been a Shut Up production.
Shut up!